Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's episode is going to be the Fall 6 pre-final. So for this one, I am starting in 7th out of 14 people. That's what I predicted. You know, I wasn't planning on being that fast today. I had a lot of issues with my kart setup, and you know, I knew going into this that I wasn't going to be fast, but you know, I was still going to try. I wasn't going to just let everyone pass me because I know it's going to be slow. So we're starting in 7th. We have the inside line into the first corner on the start, so hopefully we can get one position out of that. Going through here, this is the chicane of death. Now, if you've seen my past video, you'll know how dangerous this area is. But if you look right there, there is a cone. That cone is filled with high explosives. So if you touch that cone, your kart's going to explode. So just a heads up. Another thing to note is that there is some gravel on the right to prevent people from hurting their karts, because what used to be there was like a giant cliff, and if you dipped a wheel, your kart would just be scraping on that cliff. But the gravel they put there, whenever someone goes off, makes the racing surface extremely slippery. And in the chicane, that's kind of where you want most of your grip, because if you don't have control through the chicane, then you are just screwed. So we're formed up. We're pushing the guy in front of us. That's Colton. We've got Franco behind us. And if we watch the guy in second right here, he's on the left. That is Royce Johnson. Now, he did not get a good start because he made contact with Xander, and he dropped a couple positions. I gained a position. I'm now in 6th because I had the inside line in the first corner. Didn't get a good exit through 7, but as we watched them all go off through the chicane, and this is the gravel I'm talking about, just kicking up a bunch of dirt and crap onto the circuit. I mean, you know, we should be good enough not to be going off, but still, when that happens, you know, it makes it a whole lot worse. So, gained one position. Royce lost like 2 positions. He's a very good racer, and it was just unfortunate for him. So we're going to see if we can just hang on to the people in front of us. We know we have a faster person behind us, just try and defend them and hope that nothing bad goes wrong. A little sideways through there, my backwards facing camera was slowly dropping.
Look what you've done! I'm melting! Oh!
Finishing the second lap, still in 6th. Can't see the guy behind us because the camera fell, but he is right on our bumper. I talked to him afterwards. He said he was waiting for me to mess up, and I'm not going to give him the opportunity to pass me, because if you just drive consistently, I mean, there's no way he can pass you unless he's a whole lot faster. So going through the chicane of death, keeping it on the circuit. If I dip a wheel, he's going to pass me, you know. So he's putting some pressure on me, and we're going to just try and ignore him. If he goes along beside me, I mean, the best you can do is hope that he makes a bad move and you're able to retake him. Right here, this is the most common passing spot. It's a big long straight, and you can pass in the braking zone. An uncommon place to pass is the chicane up here. If you go side by side through there, no one's going to make it alive. But the guy behind me decides to do it. I had no choice but to back off, because if I decided to keep going, we both would have just ruined each other's races. So number 9 has a lot of balls, and I was not willing to do that. But he is faster anyways, so he's just going to pull away from us. Going through these couple of corners right here, this is where I felt like I would just gain ever so slightly on him. But once we got to the straights, if we watch, he would just pull away. So coming up to the chicane of death, you can't see it, but there's a cone laying in the middle of the corner, and he had no choice but to hit it. Luckily, he hit it off the track, so that's good. I've watched a couple races this day, and this happened a couple times, and you know, whenever you run it over, it can get caught in your cart, and it'll drag and slow you right down, or even cause damage. So a lot of people were hitting the cones. You know, I don't see why, because they're full of explosives. This guy's lucky that it had already exploded, so it was a dud. But yeah, why would you want to catch your cart on fire and explode it? So we go off here. He kind of scared me when he was going sideways through there, kicked a bunch of rocks in my face. And at that point, you can't see the back-facing camera, but if you could, you would see me looking behind me, and it felt like my bumper fell off. And I kept looking, and I was like, no, the bumper's still there. And then after the race, I looked, and my frame cracked. So I have a big, huge crack in my frame. I'll show you after the video, but it was not good. So if you're watching the next video I come out with, that's another thing to add to the list of what is wrong with my cart. So I've got a cracked frame. The motor was slightly low on power. I think I'm going to change my axles. I've never done that before, but people run harder axles than me on here, so I'm going to try that out as we head up to the the last lap, not the second to last lap. He's way ahead. There's no way we're going to pass him. So just keep it on the track. You know, there's no one behind me. I'm not going to be able to catch up to him. So we're thinking we're going to hold 7th here. But anything can happen on the last lap as we watch the guy in front of us go and absolutely murder that cone. And it explodes. And luckily, he was wearing a flame-proof racing suit. And if we watch further ahead, you can see these two people going through the last corner. That's the battle for 3rd. One guy gets shoved off and goes straight into the fence, and we are able to gain a position into 6th. And since the guy in front of us exploded a cone, he lost 2 positions. So everything turned out pretty well for me on the last lap. Others are unfortunate. The guy who was forced off the track also had a 4-place penalty for hitting the cone. Not once, but twice. So he exploded many times. But that's going to be the end of this episode. If you liked it, please subscribe. If you have any opinions, questions, or suggestions, please comment below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll send out the next video, and have a good day.